about me being that gringo school, doing fractions, speaking. So, bam, I hit the table like that, and all the dishes rattled and everything. I said, you know what? Before you guys came, I didn't have any piojos. But as soon as you guys left, I was like this.
That's not a nice thing to say, Bob.
That's the truth. I said that. But they were, and that quieted everybody in the table down.
But there was a difference, a difference of feeling and acceptance, because you went to the school, grant school, on the other side of the tracks or the 99 freeway, compared to the kids that were on this side and that went to Garfield or Wilson. There was that feeling of, you're not part of us, you're part of them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
It was because years later somebody brought it up that for the Garfield reunion, I couldn't go to it because I didn't go to Wilson. And it's for everybody.
And then, how did it affect you?
It didn't affect me. I never went. I never went to school over there, so it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
I knew everybody there.
Yeah.
So,
But in terms of being accepted or not accepted, how did?
well, we had the recreations,
Okay.
so that killed the whole thing.
Where was that held? Where were the
At the high schools.
Okay.
The high schools, they had like softball and basketball, and everybody would be mixed together. So actually, it didn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
But I knew a lot of people from the recreations. In fact, one of our guys that never got recognized is Rivera, senior.
Okay.
He was a one-man recreation. He ran the softball leagues. He ran the Boy Scouts. He ran everything. He was the umpire. He was a scheduler. He was everything, as far as I can remember. And not once has he ever been recognized.
Before we get too far along, could we get on the record your grandparents' names and then your parents' names?
Okay, my grandparents' name on my mother's side, my grandmother is Maria Jimenez. And my grandfather on my mother's side was Jose Munoz. And on my dad's side, I didn't know my grandfather, but I knew my grandma. She was Albina Gomez. And my grandfather was Pete what was it, Manuel? Pete Carrasco. So that was
your grandfather?
my grandfather, my dad's dad. I didn't get to know him. I never knew him. But the other grandpas I did know.
And your parents?
My
Your parents' names?
My mother's parents I knew real well because they lived a long time afterwards. And my grandma, she lived here in Colton.
What were your parents' names?
My dad's name is Roberto Carrasco, and Carmen Munoz was my mom's name.
Thank you.
Well, apparently then the recreation activity at this high school was a wonderful equalizer for everybody because everybody got together there.
Yeah, that's right. And there was no choice of teams because I think Ray was the one that made the teams. And he's the one that decided who was going to win.
And that was in the 40s, wasn't it, Bobby?
It was in the 40s, early 50s.
Okay.
Because I was already in high school, and I was pitching in the recreation program. They still had it in the early 50s. Because I got to pitch against some of the little guys. But they went on for a long time up there at the high school, at the old baseball field.
Where was the old baseball field located?
Right where the
tennis court is?
It'd be right where the girls' softball field is, on that side. That right in the corner. It was across the street from Grant School.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But that would be the field, and where the tennis courts would be. That's where the shops were, the shop classes. That's where they were at that time.
Yeah. You mentioned high school. Before that, when did you start playing ball?
I can remember playing ball. Well, bear in mind, pitching in the second grade. I don't know how I pitched, but I remember pitching in the second grade, which is I was, what, 6, 7 years old? Because everybody grew up with softball, because there was no baseball. So I can remember playing baseball ever since I was a kid. Because in the barrio where we lived, there was bigger kids and young kids, so we were always playing, always.
In the street?
In the street.
Okay.
Till they tell you to come in and wash up, because your dad's coming home.
Yeah. And it was a makeshift
Well, we had,
home plate and first base. And,
yeah, we had actually playing fields. When you play the street, like Reserva had a playing field, and it was just where the tracks, 3 tracks cross, it made like a triangle, and maybe home base was a burlap sack, first base a cardboard, second base another cardboard, third base maybe another sack or whatever. It was a bases, and just play neighborhoods against neighborhoods,
okay.
and no umpire. No umpire, we just played. And we played against, La Reserva, the guys from 7th Street, the guys from 5th Street, the guys from around the church, La Paloma, and all that.
And can you remember some of the members of your team?
Oh, my team, definitely.
Yeah, who were they?
Oh, my team, at that team, I think, would be Poli Sandeja, Rudy Chavez, Freddy Chavez, Monchi, Poli Sandeja.
Monchi.
Torres.
Okay.
You remember Monchi Torres?
Yes.
He died at an early age. Monchi Torres, La Boss, Los Gonzalez, Los Barreros, that's about it for us. And La Paloma, I was trying to remember, like it's Poli Rivera,
Yeah.
Poli Rivera, Bravo Saldaña, Charlie Zavala, and Max, what was that, forgetting Max something. We played with them, and then we had the guys from 7th Street, from the church. There were some guys there, and then, of course, like I said, we had 2 teams. You had the Yankees and La Paloma, which the Yankees was Benny Serrano, Danny Gonzalez, Aguerito Dominguez was a pitcher.
Yes.
That was the Yankees, and La Paloma was the other guys, Charlie and Felix Soto.
Yes. That was the
and
older,
the
yeah.
Campas,
Uh-huh.
and the Campas,
Alfonso and Sam.
Alfonso,
Ramiro.
Ramiro, yeah. I played with all of them. Yeah, they were all good ball players.
Uh-huh. And from your team, your teammates, did any of them have any nicknames?
Well, let me see. We had one guy's name was Nika.
Nika.
Nika, you know Nika.
I know Nika.
Yeah, okay, his name was Freddy Chavez, right?
Right.
Freddy Chavez, and we had Lagorre, and
And who was
there was one of my friends,
Frankie?
Frankie
Yeah,
Ramirez,
Yeah.
Lagorre, and then Goyito.
Goyito, yes.
Goyito.
And what was his name? Real name?
Goyito, Gregory.
Gregory.
And then we had La Canca, Oscar Bajarano,
Yes.
and I forget who else we had there for nicknames.
So,
And Freddie, Rudy Chavez is Freddie's brother with the boss. I don't know why he got the boss. Almost everybody had a name.
I know, it's amazing that, everybody had a nickname.
I didn't have one. I don't know. I might have had one, but I don't know. I don't know if I got one or not.
Oh, you mentioned the high school. When you went to the high school, you had already played a lot of neighborhood ball, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of neighborhood ball. You went to the high school and you tried out for the teams.
Yes.
As a freshman, what team did you play for?
The JVs.
JVs?
Mhm.
And did you play varsity
I
the
played-
following year?
Yes. I played 3 years in the varsity.
And when did you later?
Well, that brings up a sour note.
Okay.
I don't sure I should bring it up here now.
Tell me.
Okay.
If not, we'll erase it from the
Okay.
video.
When I was a sophomore, that was a time that Marty Keogh, that pitched for Pomona, he went to the Pomona Red Sox, pitched for them. I was a sophomore playing varsity, and I played more innings, and I earned my varsity letter, but they didn't give it to me because I was going to be back next year. They gave it to a senior, Blanco, that wasn't going to be back next year, and he would pitch a couple of games. So instead of being a 3-year letterman, I was a 2.
Oh.
Boy, that hurt. Who am I going to go cry to? Hey, they won't give me a letter. I earned it, but
There was nobody, there was no redress of any kind?
nope.
The coach or the
Coach Tom
principal?
Morrow,
Or the
he just said
principal?
you're going to be back next year.
Uh-huh.
You'll get your letter next
Who
year.
was your coach?
Tom Morrow,
And who was the principal?
McIntosh.
Okay. But you did later the following year?
Yeah, the
Again.
following 2 years. Yeah,
Again.
for reals.
Uh-huh.
I really got a letter.
Well, the first one was reels, but you didn't get it.
For the reals, but I didn't get it. They still, somebody wrote it in my annual still there. Sorry about your letter that you didn't get.
Uh-huh. So people were aware of it then?
Yeah,
Yeah. And what position did you play, Bob?
second base.
Were you good?
Well, I'll let people tell you.
Say yes.
I don't,
Say
I don't, I
yes.
don't toot my own horn. I never have. I'm not like these guys that say, I played against Camilo Carrillo, nobody could hit him, but I came up and I hit 5 home runs off of him.
I didn't know Camilo was a pitcher.
No, but I'm not one of these guys that says, that
Oh,
says,
okay,
I come up,
okay, got
Camilo
it.
was pitching, I hit 7 home runs off of him. And then
Uh-huh.
he gave up because he couldn't strike me out.
Yeah.
I played ball, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I was always good enough to play in the team, fortunately.
And what was your batting average?
I didn't hit too good in high school, in the twos, but sort of blossomed when I got done with high school, when I blossomed more like a slugger.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, we were playing when I got out of high school, I would play softball during the night and baseball on Sundays, playing about 4 or 5 games a week.
Oh, so you were playing baseball and softball at the same time?
Yeah, and I pitched both of them at the same time.
Now, where did you play softball?
I played softball in Riverside, and I played softball in Casablanca, and I played softball in San Bernardino, in Colton, Relis, well, all the different teams.
Uh-huh. This when you were still in high school?
No, in high school, I was playing the different teams. I was still playing softball.
Uh-huh.
You had to be careful, because if you played softball during the school year, they kick you out.
Ah, okay.
You can't play
Okay.
another sport.
Okay. Now, your teammates, do you remember some of your teammates that you played with in high school?
Oh, sure, they're right there. I just met some of them in my 60th reunion.
Uh-huh.
Some of these guys are, some of these guys,
Well, you have your annual here.
I have my annual, that's
You
my
have your
junior
annual.
annual.
This is on page 109, and what year was this, Bob?
That's 1953. Yeah, see this here?
Did you graduate in 1954?
Yes, this is a year before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all these guys were sophomores and seniors. We were the only sophomores, freshmen on this side.
There's 3 of you.
Mhm.
There's you and Sam Gardner, and who else?
Jim Bergman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I met him the other day. I hadn't seen him since our 50th reunion.
Mm-hmm.
We sure look different now. All these guys were seniors. All these guys right here.
Uh-huh. So this was a 1953 team,
Uh-huh.
and you graduated in 54?
Yeah.
Okay. After 54, did you continue playing ball?
Yes, I sure did. I got to playing ball with my dream when I grew up, in my annuals, I wish you luck with the Mercuries. I want to play for the Mercuries because that's all I ever saw.
Well,
The
tell me
Mercuries.
about the Mercuries. How did they influence you? How did they influence you?
Well, with the Mercuries, I've got the story someplace in one of these books. It actually started with some girls, call themselves Senorita Mercuries. They were the softball players during the war. So when the guys started coming back from the war, they took the name of the Mercuries. And that started about 1945, 46. And then they had a place to play. And then Javier Castorena
Uh-huh.
took them over, found a field with lights, and they would play every Sunday baseball, and during the week they would play softball.
So, right after the war, Gabby Castorena took over as manager,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to put together a team,
Very good team, yes.
a very good team. And now, tell me, how did that influence you? Because you were still a little
Yeah,
kid.
I was still, I go see those guys play.
Mhm.
And I wanted to play like those guys. I mean, there was Yankees, or Dodgers, but they were like, no,
Yeah,
they were not here.
they were not like your local heroes.
No, they were not local heroes.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to play for the Mercuries, and
Uh-huh.
maybe one guy, a senior, makes a team for the Mercuries and said, wow, he's playing for the Mercuries. So I want to be that guy. I want to be playing. I played with him for about a year,
When did you start playing for the Mercuries? Right after high school?
right after high school, 54. And I only played for about a year with him.
Okay.
And I missed all the pictures they have. I don't know why, I should be in them, but I missed all the pictures.
Uh-huh.
Then I went to play with San Bernardino.
Uh-huh.
And with San Bernardino at that time was, all the older guys that were retiring, so all of a sudden, all the guys who were going to high school with me started coming to play in San Bernardino. So San Bernardino was getting all the young guys, and Mercury's were getting the old guys.
Okay.
So at first we used to play against them, they used to bang us around. Then we got bigger and older, started playing some good ball with them. I still remember, that was the game. That was our game.
So when you were 18, was it 18?
Mhm.
You started playing for the Mercuries,
Yeah.
and you played with them for 1 year.
Mhm.
Was Gabe Castañeda still the coach?
No, Gabriel Castorama was not the coach. My father-in-law was the coach then.
Oh, tell me about that, because your wife also comes from a long tradition of baseball players.
Yeah.
So tell me about your father-in-law. He was a coach of
Yeah,
the
well,
Mercury.
my father-in-law was a baseball player, and my wife's brothers were baseball players. They came from El Paso.
Mhm.
And he took over the Mercuries. I think Chevo had him. And my father-in-law took him over, which becomes someplace near the Colton Lumber. But they were the Mercuries all the time, and he won lots of championships with them. And 1 year he even helped coach us. But when we would play against the Mercuries, my father-in-law would not talk to me. And especially if we beat him, he wouldn't talk to me. I'd go to the house and that's how I was greeted at my father-in-law's house. He didn't talk to me. But I don't know what my wife went through it. She had her father and two brothers on one team, and two brothers and me on another team against her father's team.
Well, listen, I went to school with one of your brother-in-laws. I can't remember, one of the youngest of the
Felix.
Gomez. Felix. What were the name of the other brothers?
Well, from the start is Jose Eduardo, he was called Lalo, then Willie Gomez,
I
called
remember
Pichi,
Willie.
Pichi, and then you got Felix, and then you got David Gomez, and then you got Danny Gomez. There's 5 brothers and 5 sisters.
Yeah, but the oldest brother was the one that played ball.
All 1, 2, 3.
And
The
Felix,
first-
for you.
The first 1, 2, the first 3
Yeah.
always played baseball. The other one didn't.
Right.
Yeah, Joe, Willie, and Felix were
Mhm.
the ones that played. And we played on the same team, and I played against Felix in a lot of teams, with him, same way with Willie, with him and against him. But everybody, it was a sport. It was not, it was just like nowadays. All I want to do is fight after the game or whatever.
Well, with both families being, just very much involved with baseball, were your kids also ball players?
Yeah, and my kids and my girls all played softball. My boys played, one went to wrestling, but the other 2 went into volleyball, and they were soccer players and swimmers.
Uh-huh.
What was your father-in-law's name, the coach?
Joe Gomez.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's in this picture someplace.
And then you have your picture of your grandson, the 14U. Can you show us that picture?
This is one of them.
Uh-huh.
I think that's a blowout of that one there.
Now, what was this?
This was a 20, this is at least 6 years ago. The kids were coming out of a pony league, and I wanted to have a team because my wife I was criticizing the coach. I says, "Why don't you coach?" Instead of criticizing, okay. So I went and asked this guy. He wanted to be my coach. You see,